what a clever idea it seems. Native Instruments Maschine Mikro Mark II. Here running inside Ableton 9. Slaving a MIDI drum box here. So it's running as a plugin. In dual screen mode in Ableton. And what seemed to me like an absolute great idea to package Native Instruments Maschine into something a lot smaller and more portable, giving it that intricate feeling that you expect when you produce and when you take it with you. I had not enough time to really test this unit out properly to give it full justice, so that to be said, but my first impression was, upon playing with it, I'm just running a couple of preset patterns here, so well, it's certainly a lot of fun, and this is really just me just throwing out a couple of things at you. You have one knob here, and that proved to me to be the limitation. So it's just more of a shout-out video here. So when I'm browsing, for example, let's say I want to select a new group, right? You can do it with one hand, reaching across. Let's say I'm browsing and there's a manual to it and there's a ways of doing it, and I've seen guys do this really, really fast. But to me, I'm used to Maschine Mark 1, Mark 2, what else not? For me to, let's say I want to browse for a new group, I'm hitting the browse button, and then there's a filter. So with that filter here, and sorry for not holding camera steady, it's not that easy. And probably I'm shaking too, but anyways, so here you change the parameters here, and then you go into group and sound and patterns and things like that, and then you have a list, and the software follows suit with that. This is, by the way, the software 1.8, and software 2.0 has been improved. They haven't just updated yet, but the point that I'm trying to make is you'll have to have, hold down the navigation button, and then you'll have some more choices here for the plugins and things like that. All that works, but what it does to me, it breaks sort of my workflow. It just slows me down. There's no dedicated button, I'd like to have at least 3 or 4 buttons, and not buttons, I say knobs, to turn things the way I want it. Having to hold down a button and then switch, it gives me a headache. I'll probably throw things out of the window. I'm not a very patient person when it comes to these things. On computers, I'm very patient. I'll grab a mouse and do all the things and the presets and, sub-menus. That's great. But there I have a bigger surface. Here, this is a very small screen. So you have to be a person that is really, willing to fiddle with holding down buttons and moving cursors. So in my opinion, this could have been done a little bit better. Maybe a second encoder would do the trick. If you would have 2 of these, you could encode at the same time, like scroll for the parameter that you want to change, and then change the value over here. So that's my criticism, feedback on the unit. Again, not a true review, just a shout out. While I have this on my desk, I wanted to talk to you guys about it. Of course, you can make great music, you can play back anything that you made on the big guys, but for that machine experience, for that feeling that we all like, and that feeling is to be intuitive, to not having to mess around with the computer screen too much, and with a mouse or a trackpad and things like that. We need a few more knobs and dedicated some layout that makes it a bit easier to work with. So if you want that machine experience, at least go for Maschine Mark II. It's not that much bigger. It's still portable. Maybe an idea for somebody who has studio is to buy this as a backup and then do some live performing. But then again, even with live performing, you won't have your macros set up here. You'd have to bring a separate box and then sort of wire the macros. So of course you could use this live, but even live, it doesn't give you, especially live, I think, it doesn't give you that immediateness that it needs to access parameters. Next up, we'll be talking about Ableton Push, a whole new animal, and I'll be right back with that. I've been testing it. I think there's some killer features on that boy, on that bad boy, I should say, or girl, whatever. And one of them is the scales that you can play on here, making it actually a new musical invention. It's a new musical instruments, if you will. But I'm going to take you out with a little bit of music at least. Right now we're running this in Ableton. We have in Maschine, I have a couple of limiters on each group, and then I have the glue compressor here on Ableton. But I'm recording through camera audio, so it's not going to be a great sound anyways. All right. Hit the mute button, right? Let's get it out of group mode.